Hey there everyone, happy Wednesday. I'm King 5 Meteorologist Adam Claibon. Finally done with the high heat. And today, well, clouds definitely help to keep things a bit cooler in some spots than others. And those clouds coming along with some showers, we're going to talk about that. There hasn't been a ton of rain out there, but maybe we start to see that pick up a little bit here as we head on into the night, especially across some of the eastern slopes of the Cascades where we have flood watches out for those locations. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about, with this potential of rain, some thunderstorm development, which with the dry vegetation that we have around the area, our drought conditions could lead to some elevated fire danger again here as we head over the next day or so. So we'll get into all those details and kind of get a little bit of a head look of what's ahead as we head on into the upcoming holiday weekend. Labor Day not too far away. Let's get into the satellite imagery, and you can see that spin to the atmosphere. That's an area of low pressure which will be driving things for us as far as the weather here as we go for the next day or so. Kind of beautiful looking. Yeah, it's a little dirty looking on the satellite imagery as we have a lot of the clouds there across more of the coast of Oregon, as well as a bunch of them over Idaho and heading into Montana. But that's the system right there that's going to be making its way through here as we head over the next 24 hours. And what has helped to cool things down substantially the last 5 days, either in the upper 80s or low 90s. It's been a long stretch. We've been hotter this month, 92 back on the 12th, but we weren't as hot as long as what we were just dealing with here recently. So finally, we have gotten that out of here. I'm going to show you our numbers here for today. Here's a look at that. Highs for today in the 70s and even the 60s as you head south, where we had all that cloud deck in place that kept us a bit cooler around Shelton and in Olympia. All right, so here's our forecast over the next 7-day stretch. We do see things warming up again Thursday and Friday, some additional sunshine, still the off chance of a few showers or sprinkles out there, especially for those of us as you go farther south. Better chances of rain, northwest interior for tomorrow morning. Drier and warmer day heading into Friday, and then things start to cool back down a bit more heading into the holiday weekend. All right, so here's the forecast. You can see things looking to be kind of cloudy across a lot of the region. That's Everett right there, while seeing things fairly similar here, looking at our Columbia Tower camera here in Seattle. Now, you'll notice there's a little sunshine bleeding through on both of those shots, as opposed to what's showing up here in Tacoma, which is just completely overcast and cloudy. That's the difference we've been dealing with here. And it's because of those clouds farther south, we have seen temperatures a bit cooler. While up this way around Seattle, we've at least gotten back to the 70s and should fall back down into the 60s tonight. But I wanted to point this out. This is showing you the 24-hour temperature change from at this point right now to where we were at 24 hours ago yesterday. So getting closer to your early evening hours here on Wednesday. 16, 18, 25 degrees cooler than 25 hours ago. That will make a big difference as far as how it feels outside and even inside of our homes too, for those of us who don't have AC. Nice to have that air mass now quite a bit cooler, and as we look at current temperatures, we're seeing those generally in the 60s for many spots farther south, some 70s farther north, especially up there around Mount Vernon as we sit at 79 degrees. Here's what's happening on radar. There are some showers. Thankfully not too much in terms of thunderstorm activity, but down this way around Thurston, and as well as into Pierce County, is getting closer to Lacey, maybe around DuPont, Eatonville. Seeing some lighter showers move through here into the latter part of our Wednesday evening. Farther north you go, things generally dry. Farther east you go, a lot more rain, but again, the instability in the atmosphere not really producing too much rain or thunderstorm activity, for us here across Washington State. Seeing a lot more of that down into Oregon and a few lightning strikes popping up into Vancouver. But the heavier rain we're expecting looks like more across the northeastern slopes of the Cascades will produce some flooding issues for us up there. A flood watch in effect until 9 p.m. heading to Thursday. And as far as our fire potential, because of some of the thunderstorm activity and with those dry fuels out there, we're going to see that in effect until 9 p.m. as well for tomorrow evening. Some outflow winds too could be a bit breezy between 25 to 30 miles per hour, also creating some of the lower humidity around those locations. Anything that does spark up, we got the vegetation out there that has been dry. It could spread rapidly, so do be careful. All right, so here's Futurecast tonight. You can see some of those showers shifting northward, a lot of those well off to the north and up this way around more the North Cascades. That's where we're going to wring out a lot of the moisture right up there across those locations. So that's why we do have those flood watches in effect there. That will sneak its way across the western side of the state, and those of us here in the lowlands, Whatcom, Skagit County, the San Juans, will see some showers out of that before it starts to die off by tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Then we head into Friday. Looks like it's going to be a quieter day and a pretty hot day too, as temperatures get back up into the mid 80s. And then we finally start to see a bit more of that breeze coming off of the coast, and that's going to help us to cool down quite a bit more heading into the weekend. As far as what we're expecting rainfall-wise, rainfall amounts, not a whole lot, 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of rain, and we'll see most of that here farther to the north. And then continuing on, here we are on Saturday, heading into the holiday weekend. Area of low pressure off of the coast kind of helps to keep things unstable enough to produce maybe a few light showers from time to time for Saturday and for Sunday. That's out of here, however, as we head on into Monday, so your Labor Day is looking to be dry, and then it looks like high pressure is going to take back over again, leading to sunnier skies and gradually warming temperatures. Overnight tonight, 50s farther to the south, 60s for us around Bremerton, Everett, and in Seattle. Then highs tomorrow, getting up into the low 70s around Blaine, Bellingham at 75. Just shy, it looks like, of 80 degrees around Lake Kavanaugh, Mount Vernon up to 77. Lower 80s around Arlington, Monroe, as well as into Gold Bar. We'll top off at 74 in Coopville, hit a high of 80 in Kingston, Paulsville up to 82 degrees, 84 in Renton, around the mid-80s in Belfair and in Tacoma, so getting quite toasty into those spots. And it looks like we'll see more of the same as you head down farther south along the I-5 corridor. Here's your 7-day forecast. Thursday and Friday looking to be pretty warm ones for us. By the time we head into Saturday, there's a bit of a cool down there. Partly sunny skies, a few showers around. Definitely not a washout, so don't cancel any outdoor plans you have on Saturday or for Sunday here heading into the Labor Day weekend. And definitely not for Monday, as it looks like the forecast is shaping up to be dry there, and we'll be just shy of 80 degrees before getting back into the 80s by next Wednesday. Big story is the heat is done and it is gone, and we are, for the time being, going to enjoy this cooler stretch here as we head over the next few days, and it looks like a pretty comfortable weekend ahead. But again, be careful with any sort of fire that you might have, those loose chains or something while you're driving. Don't want any of those sparks firing up any sort of flames at all. And if you are going to be across some of those locations where we do have thunderstorm potential, make sure that you're keeping an eye out for that and for any potential fires that could come from it as well. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll talk to you soon.